Hello, my name is Mauricio Pinto and I'm presenting a long-term suggestion of Southwest Airlines sustainability in two main aspects, the financial and the environment. 46 years ago, Rollin King and Herb Kelleher created the airline with one thing in mind: transport people to their destinations on time with the lowest fare possible and with the best and enjoyable time during the flight. And they've made it. Southwest Airlines is one of the biggest airlines in the United States, as same as the most recognized and stable organization in the country and in the aviation industry. They achieved their dream applying their mission, dedication to the highest quality of customer service delivered with the sense of warmth, friendliness, individual pride, and company spirit. In 2017, the airline has been recognized as the largest carrier at the United States for domestic travels, with a net income of the $3.5 billion, with an increase of the 55% year over year. The main reason to the reduction of their tax income was the implementation of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act by the federal government in 2017. In the same period, the airline received $21.2 billion in a passenger's revenue as a result of the loyalty of their customers and the engagement of the new ones because of the reduction of the average passenger fares. Also, they increased sales in areas such as in-flight internet, food and onboard entertainment, among other services. The low-cost discipline is supported by strategies that did not change over the years. They have a fleet of Boeing 737 aircraft only, helping in the implementation of the economies of scale regarding technical training and inventory of spare parts for airplanes. At the same time, the point-to-point route network increased the efficiency of the operational expenditure. Nowadays, the organization completes 45 consecutive years of profitability, 130 million customers served, and is ranked as a number one in customer satisfaction by the U.S. Department of Transportation. The point-to-point network is one of the pillars of the airline's success during the history. In 2017, the organization had 100 destinations where the 76% of the passengers flew in non-stop routes. Soutwest offered 675 direct flights of city pairs, including some of their 11 international destinations in Central America and the Caribbean. The organization has the 24% of the domestic market share, positioning them in the first place at the United States market. In 2017, they improved for the sixth consecutive year, reducing the dioxide carbon emanations. Since 2005, the airline reduced at 31.8% of the greenhouse gases discharges to the air. To achieve that, the organization implemented the following strategies on air operations. They redesigned the refreshment areas and kitchens in the airplanes. They update the aerodynamical feature, the implementation of efficient fuel and flight planning, and the optimization of electronic functions in the planes. The implementation of these strategies saved around 10.5 million gallons of fuel. At the same time, the organization bought the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and the Boeing 737-800, considered fuel-efficient aircrafts. In land operations, the organization invested in electrical equipment such as lifts, ramps, baggage carts, and pushback tractors, replacing the old diesel and petrol equipment, reducing not only the greenhouse emissions, also the operational cost. The future plans to improve their financial position and gain more of their market share. The organization is planning to fly to Hawaii. At the 31st of December 2017, they are waiting for the government approvals. Also, Southwest is expanding their domestic destinations from the new Payne Field Airport in Everett, Washington. On the environment side, Southwest will increase the number of fuel-efficient aircraft, buying 26 new Boeing 737-800 and 19 new Boeing 737 MAX 8. Also, they will invest in innovative programs to find new and useful ways to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions and the environmental footprint. What could be the sustainable future of Southwest? Taking into consideration the success of the business model used by the airline in the United States, they will be working in the other parts in the world, like the European Union. Europe has similarities with the American market, such as short hauls, loss of air traffic, that means loss of travelers, the facility to travel in the region with one passport and visa if it's needed, and it is a touristic region. Southwest can implement the pillar strategies in the market. Because of the short hauls travels, the point-to-point flights and the short time in the airport for travelers are achievable for the airline. In this case, they should introduce an intercontinental trip for the international airports on the east coast of the United States, such as New York or Miami, and arriving to airports in Portugal or Spain. To make that possible, they need to invest in a new model of aircraft. Following the cost discipline goal, the Boeing 747-8 could be the option. That is because it's a Boeing technology and the partnership with them could be maintained in a long term. At the same time, the organization can continue with the dioxide carbon emanations reduction program because it is a fuel-efficient aircraft. Then in Europe, Southwest can introduce the point-to-point strategy to carry passengers in a short-haul travels around the European Union countries and the United Kingdom. But they have to compete for a part of the share market in the region because there are well-established low-fare airlines such as Ryanair, EasyJet, Transavia, Norwegian, Wizz Air, Flyby, Jet2, SmartWings, and Meridiana. In the environmental side, the industry will put into the atmosphere by 2025 between 1.2 to 1.5 million tons yearly of dioxide carbon, in comparison of the 670 million tons discharged in 2017. It is a significant increase in a short period, but the aviation industry commits to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions with the new fuel-efficient planes. Also, the industry is investing in research, innovation, and development of biofuels to change the fossil ones. The primary constraint to achieve it is the strict set of safety, technological, and regulatory requirements. In recent years, Cathay Pacific has been proving a combination of biofuel named Fulcrum, that is a fuel produced from the landfill waste, and the Jet A1 fuel for commercial aircrafts. They blend 10% of Fulcrum and 90% of the Jet A1. After tests and statistics, the result was that the dioxide carbon emissions could be reduced up to the 80%. Cathay Pacific used this blend commercially in a long-haul travels without any issue for the aircraft or passengers, giving a proper perspective for the future. Also, GOL, a Brazilian airline, made a strategic alliance with Amoris, a French chemical organization, who developed a fuel named farnesene. This biofuel is produced from the sugar cane. In 2014, GOL made the first commercial and international flight between Orlando in the United States and Sao Paulo in Brazil. The Boeing 737 used a blend of 90% of Jet A1 with a 10% of farnesene. This fuel has been approved for the Federal Administration Aviation of the United States and passed all the quality, efficient, and safety tests. Also, it has been authorized for commercial and military use. Southwest Airlines is implementing strategies to minimize the greenhouse gas emissions. It is time to take the next step. Take into consideration that all their planes are Boeing, and the aircraft builder has a strategic alliance with Emirates and other organizations that are developing biofuels for the aviation industry. They can take the risk to be involved on those investigations and tests. Also, they can invest part of the surplus in this organization, expecting a middle to long-term return into the essential topics such as environmental friendly flights and cheaper and stable prices of fuel.